Hi, and welcome to the Boyd Life. Today, we are going to talk about, and we would like to know about your favorite pet.
So stay tuned. We'll be right on it. Today, Marta wants to talk about favorite pets. So what do you want to talk about, Marta?
Well, we've had a couple of dogs. Matter of fact,
More than a couple. We've had 5, 6 dogs. A couple we didn't have very long, but
we've basically had four main dogs. And the thing is we've loved every one of them. A couple probably are our favorites, and maybe they're our favorites because they were with us the longest.
Right. Sparky was our first dog that was with us for a long time, and we got him from the Dog Pound Humane Society. And the second one that was with us for quite a while was Bear. And now we got Bear from a pet store, and he was a purebred Cairn Terrier. And he had problems. When we first got him as a puppy, he got into some rat poison, and we had to go make a emergency thing to a doctor on Christmas Eve. Yeah. That cost us a lot of money, and that caused down the line some health problems. He
something
had
with his
bumps in his liver or something like that.
Kidney or something. Even though they had pumped his stomach, given him some medicine, sent us home with some medicine, they said it shortened his life.
Right, and so he lived 8 years.
8 years.
8 years. And then the last two were Max and Gibbs. Gibbs was we both got them. Well, we got Gibbs through Humane Society, and he was a mix of 4 different dogs. Yeah. Sweet dog.
Oh, what a wonderful.
Great personality.
Yeah.
Loved to eat rocks, and had great teeth.
And hated to go up and down stairs.
He just did not want to do that at all.
Or in and out of a car. He was the one dog we had where we would have to,
lift him upstairs.
Lift him up and carry him down.
He loved going for rides in the car, but you had to lift him in and lift him out. He did not want to get in and out. And when you had to get him in and out, you had to fight with him, right?
He would back away from you, because he was so
afraid.
Was timid.
He was timid.
I was calling him a timid dog.
And then the other one was Max, which was we got him from the SPCA. ASPCA, and he was found on the streets, and they thought he was about a year old. He was skin and bones, very little teeth. Didn't like to be held, didn't like to be touched. And when I brought him home to Marta, she said, "What did you bring me, a rat?" And it became her favorite dog.
Max, it's funny because he was a Chihuahua, which they kind of look like I'd never had a Chihuahua before. He was afraid of nothing. I swear. And he was my pal, my buddy.
Well, when we first got him, like I said, he didn't like to be held, touched, or anything. And so he would jump on your lap, but as soon as you put your hands around him to pet him, he didn't like that because he thought he was being confined or whatever. And he would growl and then jump off. Well, he finally got over that with us, and then he was like that for when people would come over. He just didn't like people coming over. But as he got older, he got better and better and better. And after, in his last years, 10 through 13, he was a lover. I mean, he just loved everybody then.
Well, he was 14.
13. Got to 13.
Oh, he was 13 years old. Yeah.
But he was just an excellent dog.
Yeah.
And the other dogs in between were dogs that we had a Sheltie that lasted about 3 months in a really bad snowstorm. Marta took her for a walk. She got out of her collar, never saw her again.
She was, well, there was someone dropped, it had been a bad storm. People were cleaning up. Someone dropped a huge chunk of tree into their pickup, and it sounded like an explosion, and it was very close to us, and that scared our little timid Bambi so much that she managed to get out of her collar, and all I saw was the back of her running away. She wouldn't come. She was so scared.
And we never saw her again. We
Yeah.
put things out all over the place and never saw her.
Contacted so many
The other dog we had was a Alaskan
American Eskimo.
Eskimo, and we had him for about 4 or 5 months, and he would go. We loved that dog, but
He was white.
He was white, but you'd never know it because he was always in the yard, rolling around, running around, and he'd get so dirty, and he loved to be outdoors. And we ended up saying, this dog needs to run, and we
And he needs more room.
more room.
He
And
loves the outside.
we found some
He
people that
wasn't a-
owned a farm, and they
Yes.
came and looked at him, and we went out and visited him once they took him over, and he loved the farm because, boy, we came out to see him, and remember, he was running all over the farm. He'd come up and jump on us, and he'd run around. He was so happy, so that was a good thing, and that's one reason we got rid of him.
Yes, and the farmer he would get in the truck, and the farmer, he'd go wherever the farmer went and stuff like that.
They had
in the truck and
he
get
really
out.
liked that family, so
Yes.
that was a good.
So we
good thing,
made a
too.
good choice.
Yeah,
for him and for
that's
us.
one thing you want to know too is when you get a dog, make sure or any animal, make sure that you're ready for that animal because some of these animals need running and they need to be out and kept entertained. And so they're not going to be a good house dog. If you got a dog that wants to chew up everything in the house, it's probably because he wants to be active. And if
He's bored.
He's bored. So he wants to run. And that was the way that husky was. He wanted
No, he wasn't a husky. He was American Eskimo.
Eskimo. That's the way he was. He wanted to be outside and he wanted to run.
So we wanted to know what some of your favorite pets have been. We know people who've had cats.
Right. We're not cat people. Well, Marta is kind of allergic to them anyway. So
I'm a little allergic to them, but some of them are really cute and sweet, and they're soft and cuddly. But I've also known some that will scratch you and that just aren't as nice and friendly. But I guess one thing I wanted a pet like a lap dog is really good. If a cat was a lap dog and didn't jump up on your tables and your counters and things like that, I just didn't like them ever being up, like where I'm going to be preparing food. Or
now, some
stuff
people like their
that,
cats because they're all over the place, but we're just not cat people. We're more dog people. We have been without a dog now for 6 months. And
Yes.
Marta's in that stage where she wants another dog. So we'll see down the line if we get another dog. We're 74 and 71, so we don't want to get too young of a dog because we don't want the dog to outlive us.
Well, and I know that we had good luck, with getting a regular, like a purebred type of dog, but I don't need that, and I would rather, as we have most of our dogs, I would rather get a rescue, a dog
Right.
from the Humane Society,
We're really with the attitude that get your dogs from the SPCA or ASPCA or the Humane Society because you're saving a life. because
rescue
or rescue
organization.
somebody with a rescue operation, because you're really saving their lives, because some of the places now are no kill, but still there are places that's no kill, and these dogs don't have a chance. So
There are still places that euthanize.
you could get, yeah, you still euthanize. So
But the other thing too, I think some of our best dogs were the ones from
Yeah.
those places.
yeah,
They made the
Sparky.
best.
Sparky was an amazing dog. He was a wild-haired terrier that we had for 16 years, and I said he didn't shed. He just rotated hair. I
Yeah.
mean, you could brush that dog and brush him and throw away the hair and brush him again, and you could get the same amount of hair from him. But we loved that dog. He grew up with our kids. So I
They
mean,
all loved him. We all
yeah,
loved
because he
him,
was
and
he's 16
was
years
good.
old. He was part of the family.
Yes.
He was that, and he was just an amazing small dog with a fearless heart. That dog would do anything. He would jump out of windows. He didn't care. Oh, there's something over there. I'll jump for it. He didn't know anything was no fear.
We can tell you stories about our dogs. We want to hear stories about
your dogs.
your dogs, your cats, whatever. I think one of our granddaughters has some hamsters or guinea pigs, or there's something that looks like kind of big rats.
Yeah,
with
they're guinea
different
pigs.
Faces.
She
And
loves those, but
Yeah.
so there's different kinds of pets.
Yeah.
What kind of pets do you prefer? Which ones do you like?
We had fish for a while.
Yeah, we had fish. I had a piranha. You
I don't
never
wanna
did-
talk
you never
about
do,
that.
do that one, but I had a piranha.
Anyway,
He was fun, and
but and my husband, he came home with a Chihuahua because his family had Chihuahuas. Our family had like German Shepherds, and
well, our family went
Stuff
through a
like
lot
that.
of. We didn't go through a lot of Chihuahuas, but we liked the Chihuahuas. So that's what we grew up with a lot, and that's what I was used to. And I like
and they're
Chihuahuas.
small.
Yeah.
They're small, but. I will tell you, I'm sure that a lot of you have favorite dogs, and maybe you can kind of help me out. I need a small lap dog, but I don't want a yapper. None of our dogs have been.
Even though Chihuahuas are
yappers.
famous for yapping, but we never
No,
had.
we-
Max did not yap.
He
He would let you know somebody was at the door.
He would bark if he heard something or someone was at the door. He would bark till we said, okay, and no bark, that kind of thing. But he always alerted you to things.
Yep.
And that's what I want. I would like a small lap dog that would still, alert me to things. But all of our dogs have shed. I don't think we've had a dog that hasn't shed. But I'm not so much with the curly Q or,
Poodles.
tons of hair. At this stage, if they didn't have to, if they shed, but not like rotating hair.
Not like
that's
Sparky.
Okay. That's okay. As, if we don't have to take them to groomers to have them clipped and groomed and stuff. Just, baths and nails, that kind of thing would be good.
So anyway, watch our video. Make a suggestion. If we haven't got a dog by then,
Which we probably won't.
But give us some suggestions on good pets that you've had. Dogs that are easy to train. Gibbs we took him to like 3 weeks of school. And because he wouldn't listen for some things,
us.
and so we got him back, and for about 2 hours he was really great, and then he retrained us to the way he liked, and he forgot about 3 weeks of training. So we called the place.
That's right.
We called the place and we said, "Hey, we saw the video, and when we picked him up, he could do everything you said. He'd come, he'd sit, he'd do everything. And now he's not doing any of it."
And we're using little little pieces,
Hot dogs.
little pieces of hot dog, which he absolutely loves.
And so the guy says,
He
well,
won't do it.
we can train the dogs, but
We can't.
we
train
can't train you.
owners.
Because if you're not showing who's the boss, that dog is going to bring you into his pack
Yeah.
and retrain you. So
And that's really interesting. Last thing I'm going to say here, but because Gibbs was the alpha when it came to us, evidently, but he was the follower. What do they call
but
that?
he was not the alpha
He
with
was
Max.
With Max or any other dogs. Gibbs just followed
Followed
any
along.
other dogs.
Because when Max came into the house, Max told Gibbs when to
Dog
eat,
boss.
who eats first, who does everything. If Gibbs was on a lap, Max would get on that lap, push Gibbs off. And so he was amazing. So anyway, we thank
But
you
they
for
were best buddies.
Yeah, they were good. They went everywhere together. They'd get out of the fence together, and Max always was with Gibbs, but they were. They stayed together.
Please, and we want to hear your stories. We have some stories that we should tell you in another video about a couple of about the
Their
dogs.
adventures.
But for right now, just if you liked our video, we'd appreciate it. Subscribe. What do we say? Do they
Comment,
comment? Tell
thumbs
us all
up, give
the
us
stuff,
thumbs
you know.
up, and
We love animals.
and let us know if you liked our content. So that'll be it for today. We sure appreciate you watching. Goodbye.
Bye.
See you down the line.